Brothers and sisters, honored guests, may I have your attention, please? Before everybody digs into their meal, we have a moment for grace.
Thank you.
Yes. Bow your heads. Bless us, O Lord, and these are gifts which we are about to receive. Right, all right.
It's really off. I didn't think this thing was working. Anyway, bon appetit.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, if I could have your attention. This is the actual start of it. Basically, we wanted to get a little grace in there while the salads are being served. But I'd like to welcome everybody to the 34th Annual Rouses Point Fire Department Awards Banquet. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dennis Roberts. I'll try and entertain you somewhat tonight. And if I'm not entertaining, Benny Arnold will. What's your... Yeah, that's not a door... Okay, that may be a door prize. Alright, first of all, we have a lot of new and exciting things for you this year. We're going to have lots of fun. That's the whole purpose of this, is to get out together, socialize, have a good time. And that's what our goal is. There may be a few tears shed, especially when Red finds out he's got to pay for his own drinks tonight.
Crying already.
But we are here for one reason, and that's to have a good time. First of all, I'd like to point out the fire exits. They are all the way to the left. You can head down the stairs, and there's also an exit to the back, to the rear, to the right. If I could just ask everybody to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and to remain standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you please remain standing, take a moment of silence for all the deceased members, auxiliary members, and especially for all of our servicemen and women overseas who have made the ultimate sacrifice defending our freedom. Thank you. Betty says, let's have a drawing. Let's have a drawing. As you know, we charged everybody $1 to come in this year. Nothing is free. Not even your annual banquet is free. So basically what we did is, I shouldn't say we. What he did was decide to have all these drawings throughout the night. So if you get out your red tickets.
Everybody should have a red ticket. Okay, the last four numbers, 0265. 0265.
Now he's already forewarned me that he's going to be interrupting me all night long, so I have no clue when this is going to happen, so whenever he decides to have a drawing, we're going to be interrupted. At this time I want to introduce the, basically all I want to do is recognize the slate of officers that we elected in last month in April. And here again, Mr. Arno and I believe Junior Moore were on the committee for the election of officers, and that was a record time, 20 minutes from start to finish. We were all out. And I'm not sure if they wanted to do a mad rush down the Dollies or the Legion, but we were out there in 20 minutes. And I apologize if I got anybody in trouble for those of the ones that said they told the wife that the meeting ran over time. I apologize. So our list of officers, and if we could hold your applause, there's always somebody in the crowd that whines. and complains and has something to bitch about. Sorry. Shaggy came up to me before I started and he says, Dennis, if you could just please ask everybody to hold their applause until you announce all the officers. He says, every year we go to a banquet, they announce who the officer is, everyone gets applause but me. So if you can hold your applause until I list them all. So I go down the list. We have Chief Brian Pelkey, First Assistant Chief Walt Laramie, Second Assistant Chief Mike LeBlanc, Captain John Mott, First Lieutenant of Fire is Kevin Scheidman, Second Lieutenant of Fire is Jason Juneau, Captain of EMS, Junior Moore, First Lieutenant of Rescue, Brian Kluke, Second Lieutenant of Rescue, Matt Rushford, President, Bruce Sayak, Vice President, Dennis Roberts, Secretary, Sean Shagnon, and Treasurer, Kevin Shagnon. See that, Kevin? You're the only one that got applause. Well, Jimmy got applause.
Thank you, guys.
At this time, if we could just like to recognize all the other members. We're a team unit. Without the officers, without the members, these officers would not hold any. What's that? No. So, I'd like to recognize the other members of attendance and thank you. If we could, I'd like to acknowledge all the exec firefighters in attendance. If you could please stand and be recognized, exec firefighters. I think it's said every year, but it's got to be said that these guys are the building blocks of our department. We would not have a department if it wasn't for these guys. I'd also like to acknowledge any honorary members that may be in the house. Please stand, be recognized, honorary members. And the next group that I want to introduce is a very special group to us as firefighters. They are always there whenever we need them, whether it's day or night, 90 degrees with the sun shining, 30 degrees below zero with the wind blowing, and that's our auxiliary. So our auxiliary, please stand. President of the Auxiliary is Cecilia Robert, Vice President is Kim LePan, Secretary Cindy Robert, and Treasurer is Mary LaValle. I'd also like to welcome our special guest. Over to my right is Hometown Cable, Calvin Castine. Representing the Press Republican, Shan Moore. Commander of American Legion Post 912, Mr. Alan Kaufman. The family of Willard Overy. And to the rear is the family of Mike LaFave. And we also have some distinguished guests, and I was told to call them distinguished. And I don't know if that puts you guys not distinguished or not, but these are our distinguished guests is Trustee John Burtz, Trustee Junior Moore, Trustee Kelly Penfield, Deputy Mayor Brian Jefferson, and our Mayor, Mr. Rivers, Jordan Rivers. Is Mr. John Huffro in the house? Did John make it?
No, we did not.
I just wanted to say on behalf of the department, John has served us very well as fire commissioner in the past. And for those, he recently stepped down as trustee. I just wanted to extend our gratitude to John. Also, we're pleased to have Town of Champlain Supervisor, Mr. Larry Barco. And forever present every year, our county legislator, Ms. Celine Paquette. if we could ask our chaplain, Walt Laramie, to say an invocation before dinner.
Want me to cut it?
This was going to be tied in with the blessing, but I figured everybody would probably get to the main course by the time we got to it. Now, a couple of prayers on the chaplain's website. And since we're divided in our activities between actual firefighting and emergency services and EMS, we'll start off, the invocation will be a EMS prayer, and the benediction tonight will be a firefighter song. As I perform my duties, Lord, I will never question why. Please help to guide and keep me safe. My faith in you I rely. I wish to serve and do my best, no matter what the task. I pledge to keep my skills refined, my judgment sure and fast. If I have a chance to save a child and return his youthful glee, a word of thanks I may not hear, self-pride is enough for me. This calling I give unto myself, and most cannot comprehend, but I stand ready with all my might to help whenever I can. The praise of many is fine for some, but I feel truly blessed that you, O Lord, have chosen me to serve the EMS.
And we'll have dinner.
I'm going to start dancing. The company saved money. They have to pay Rouses stuff.
Alrighty.
You really know who we live in.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Anymore? Can you hear me
I
back
didn't
there?
believe it either. Have you ever seen the size of a book? The back feet of a kangaroo?
Junior Moore, Junior Moore, Junior Moore. Calling Junior Moore. Calling Junior Moore. Junior, can you hear me back there? I know you're the oldest one in the corner. If you can hear me, everybody else should be able to. Thanks, guys.
Had a pretty good one?
All right, folks.
Yeah, you did. Very cool. Oh, yeah. You know, right. Oh, yeah. Right.
Yes, correct.
Yes. You know what that
Tells you on the back.
All right, can I have everyone's attention?
You know why the company said they save a lot of money here?
At this time, I want
The kangaroos of it, they smell great. There you go.
I'd like to ask the president of the auxiliary to come up. She would like to say a few words, Mrs. Cecilia Roberts. Can you feel the music? Does that work?
Turn it on.
No, you need to.
I'm glad you decided.
I want to thank the fire department once more for inviting the ladies auxiliary. We enjoy helping them out as much as we can. They're all great guys. Whenever we need help, they're right there for us, so we help them. I want to thank all my girls. Without them, I wouldn't be a president. I'm not like Bush, but...
Thank God.
We need a woman president of the United States.
Hey,
All politics aside, I want to thank my girls very much. They're all very great team. And Bob, yes, that's right. We do have a man in our group. Thank you, Kim. And he's a great help. We had a sad moment a couple weeks ago. Lost one of our super girls, Nancy Hunter. And there's only one thing I can say. She was a great woman. And we're going to miss her very much. I'd like a moment of silence, just special silence for her, please. thank you very much. Nancy, you're here with us, I know you are. And I don't have any awards to give. We haven't been busy this year. Thank to God. We haven't had much for fires or anything. So we haven't had to work. And we don't have any pins to hand out. The greatest pin of all is not having any fires or whatever. So thank you girls very much, and I'd like to keep moving with the guys. Thank you, girls.
All right, we also have a special guest in the house. Commander Alan Kaufman from the American Legion Post 912 would like to make a special presentation.
Thank you. Thanks for fitting me in this, Dennis. I hope to make this presentation at our annual American Legion birthday party. But the recipient of this award has informed me he's going to be out of town. He didn't know I was going to make the presentation to him, or I'm sure he would have canceled everything. But anyway, Benny, could you get up here, please? Well, you know, you do everything, Benny. You know, it seems so every place you go around town, there's Benny. He's doing something for some organization. He's involved in a lot. And I know I'm going to miss a few, but there's the Historical Society, the Knights of Columbus, the 4th of July Planning Committee, the Zoning Board. See what else am I missing? The Fire Department. There you go. He even helps out other organizations of which he's not a member, such as American Legion. And Benny, for your dedication to the community, American Legion Post 912 is very proud to present a Community Citizenship of the Year award to you. And I'll read the plaque. Presented to Benjamin Benny Arnold in recognition of your dedication and service to the community, presented by American Legion Post 912, Rouses Point, New York, May 2006. Hooray. Congratulations.
For once, we found something to shut him up. Can you come back next year, Alan? All right, before I go any further, I must say that we're here to have fun, like I said earlier. And if I piss anybody off, well, you'll just have to get over it. So with that said, I just want to read a little joke. You know, the internet is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful tool. You can find anything on there. So I just pumped in the word fireman's joke, and lo and behold, a whole boatload of them came up. And when I read them, one really peeked out at me. And you'll know what I'm talking about once I say the joke, but the name just flashed right there. I said, I've got to share this with folks. It goes like this. A fire chief died and went to heaven. When he got there, he saw a long line waiting to get into the pearly gates. He told himself, I am a fire chief. I'm not going to wait in line. He went to the angels guarding the gates and said, let me in. I'm a fire chief. The angels replied, you'll have to wait in line like everyone else. While waiting at the back of the line, he saw a sedan pull up with red lights, and a man got out wearing a white helmet that said Chief. The angels popped to attention and let the chief enter heaven. The waiting fire chief was really upset now and went to talk to the angels. He asked, why did you let that fire chief go through and not me? To which the angels replied, you have it all wrong, sir. That's not a fire chief, that's God. He just thinks he's a fire chief. Now, you guys are laughing, but I don't think I'm done with this joke. That's not the funny part. to me, now I know when George Rivers was chief, he always thought he was God. And I always wondered to myself, I wonder if God ever thought of him being a fire chief. Well, I guess we now know the answer. God thinks he's a fire chief and George thinks he's God. And you know what? I don't think I've ever spoken any true words in that. Hail to the chief, hail to God. Actually, right now I want to turn it over to First Assistant Chief Walt Laramie. He has a special award.
Back a few years ago when I first joined the Rouses Point Fire Department, I came from what I thought was a rather progressive fire department as well, Shazy. But then I found that there's some things we do at Rouses Point that we didn't do there. Some things we should have been doing in Shazy, but we didn't. But I kept forgetting certain aspects of the operation plan. And for those of you who have been apparatus drivers, especially now since in the last 15 years, 20 years, you notice that there's certain things that you're supposed to do when you park a vehicle on the fire scene. And I had a tendency to forget those because we hadn't done them in Shazy. In fact, we didn't even own the particular pieces of equipment that you have to use. So I received a very, very honorable award, and I was told when I got that award, that one of these days you'll have the chance to give that award to somebody else. So I kept looking and looking and looking, but gee, everybody else seemed to be better than I was, and nobody else made the same mistake. I said, one of these days, somebody's going to do this. Well, wouldn't you know it, about a week and a half ago, we were trying to move a piece of equipment one night, and that equipment wouldn't move. It just would not move. Yeah, I can see the recipient, I can see right now. So anyway, Eric, would you come forward, please? Eric, you can't even imagine how I've been trying to get rid of this award, and my wife would really like to get it out of the garage. Yeah, well, the thing is, whenever we're going to move a vehicle, we should check and see if there's a wheel chock in place. And for Eric, the golden wheel chock award.
Hey, Walt, it only took you 5 years to get rid of that.
I'll give him 2 weeks, he'll have it back.
Don't laugh, Jason. We might have something for you.
Mike?
Another raffle? Number 0259. They're mixed up. They're mixed up.
Like I said earlier, there's always somebody whining. All right, on to more serious things. Still love you, George. 215. 215. What does that number mean? 215. To me, it's, well, almost my body weight. Red's age, yeah, there's another thought. What else? 215. 215. To Mike LaFave, the number of times you yanked someone out of the driver's seat of 305. 215. To Red Wilder.
146.
Yeah. It's probably the number of times he had someone else buy it on a dolly just this year. Can I have a ride home? 215. George Rivers, the number of years he wants to be mayor. And to Willard Overy, well, that's just the number of years he wants to be a fireman. $215. In reality, that is the total number of years that those four gentlemen have actively given to our community. Mike LaFave, 40 years, Rouses Point Fire Department member. George Rivers, 50-year member. Red Wilder, 55 years. Willard Overy, 70-year member. If I could ask, while you guys are standing, could you four gentlemen come up front and center, please? Mike, George, Willard.
You want to ride over it.
Red. You know what's pretty amazing here as I see these four guys come up, in all seriousness, these four guys, well, Willard has calmed down in the last few years, but he still can be seen at the station. Willard, right here, buddy. Willard can still be seen down at the station, sweeping the bays, playing pool. Mike's all the way down. Yeah. George next to Mike. George next to Mike. You're not
Trying to figure out who the old guy is.
right here, Willard. Go ahead, have a seat. Willard can be seen still down at the station, sweeping the bays. And the other three gentlemen, they are still active. And I mean active. They don't just go on a call once in a while. You see them at the meetings, you see them at the fires, you see them directing traffic, whether it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 20 below zero. These guys are there. And to me, that's pretty amazing. That's really amazing. We have a chair because you're going to need to sit down because there's a lot of people that want to say a lot of things to you guys. And I have no control of what anybody says, all right? The first guest I'd like to ask to come up is Deputy Mayor Brian Jefferson. Benny.
Thank you, Benny. Good evening, and thank you for asking me to be here tonight. I just want to tell you that the fire department in Rouses Point is very well thought of. The rescue squad and the auxiliary is the best around. It's the best all in the world, probably, I'd have to say. And tonight I'm here to read this resolution on behalf of the Village of Rouses Point. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point, New York, wishes to express their congratulations to Morris Mike LaFave, who has celebrated 40 years of volunteer service to the Rouses Point Fire Department. And whereas Morris joined the Rouses Point Fire Department on October 4th, 1965, and began his career in the fire service, where he has been a role model to many members of the department and continues to be active as a pump operator. And whereas his dedication has been shown in many acts of unselfish deeds to the department and the residents of the community, and therefore be it resolved, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point does hereby congratulate Maurice Mike LaFave for achieving his milestone in his life and publicly thank him for his dedication he has shown to the Rouses Point Fire Department and the residents of the village. This resolution shall take effect immediately. The question of the foregoing was unanimously approved by the mayor and the board of village trustees of the village of Rouses Point. On behalf of the village board and the members of the community, we would like to acknowledge your service to community and to the village of Rouses Point.
I wish I had another 40 years to give, but that's not to be.
This resolution, whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point wishes to express their congratulations to the Mayor of Rouses Point, George A. Rivers, who will be celebrating 50 years of volunteer service to the Rouses Point Fire Department. Whereas George joined the fire department on August 6, 1956, and began his career in the fire service, where he has been an absolute role model to many members of the department. Whereas George has served as the chief of the fire department from April 1972 to April 1992. He has also served as the deputy fire coordinator from 1970 to 2005. And he now sits on the board of directors of the New York State Association of Fire Chiefs. And whereas his dedication has been shown in his many acts of unselfish deeds to the department and to the residents of the community. Therefore, be it resolved, the Board of the Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point do hereby congratulate George A. Rivers for achieving this milestone in life, and we wish to publicly thank him for his dedication he has shown to the Rouses Point Fire Department and to the residents of the Village of Rouses Point. This resolution shall take effect immediately. The question of the foregoing was unanimously approved by the mayor and the trustees of the Village of Rouses Point. Would you like to say something?
To hell of an oath, I have to approve this.
Thank you, Mayor Rivers. Thank you, Mr. Arnold. Okay, whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point wishes to express their congratulations to Graham Big Red Wilder, who will be celebrating 55 years of volunteer service to the Rouses Point Fire Department. And whereas Red joined the Rouses Point Fire Department on November 5th, 1951. And he began his illustrious career in the fire service, where he has been a role model to younger members of the department. And he served in various offices, which he still actively serves as the captain of the fire police. Whereas Red, through the years, has brought laughter and joy to many through his many jokes. He also has he's been a familiar figure, whether he was fighting a fire, directing traffic, as a fire police, or staffing the ambulance. And whereas his dedication has been shown in his many acts of unselfish deeds to the department and the residents of the community. And therefore be it resolved, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point does hereby congratulate Graham Red Wilder for achieving this milestone in his life, and we wish to publicly thank him for his dedication to duty that he has shown to the Rouses Point Department and the residents of Rouses Point. This resolution shall take effect immediately. The question of the foregoing was unanimously approved by the mayor and the village trustees of the Village of Rouses Point. Red Wilder. We're trying to figure out who has more money, John Huckrow, Warren Buffett, or Red Wilder. Thank you.
Red. Better get out.
And finally, whereas the Board of Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point, New York, we wish to express the congratulations to Willard Aubrey, who has served illustriously for 70 years of volunteer service to the Rouses Point Fire Department. And whereas Willard joined the Rouses Point Fire Department on October 7, 1935. And he began his illustrious career in the fire service, where he has been a role model to many members of the department, and has serviced in various offices to include the fire chief. He is 92 years old. He's one of the best pool players ever in North Country, and when the firemen return from the fire, he can still be seen cleaning the bays. And whereas his dedication has shown his many acts of unselfish deeds to the department and the residents of the community. And therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Rouses Point does hereby congratulate Willard Aubrey for achieving his milestone in his life, and we wish to publicly thank him for his dedication he has shown to the Rouses Point Fire Department and the residents of the Village of Rouses Point. This resolution shall take effective immediately. The question of the foregoing was unanimously approved by the mayor and the village trustees. I'd like to say, Willard, thank you for your service to the community. You were my favorite postmaster over the years, and we wish you good health and happiness for another 70 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Now if I could ask the town supervisor, Mr. Larry Barco.
Did you catch it?
Thank you for the invite tonight. Glad to be here.
Check. Did you get it?
You almost got to eat this thing. I'm glad to be here and I appreciate the invitation. We have a resolution for all four volunteer firemen. Resolution of appreciation to Maurice Lefebvre. Whereas Maurice Lefebvre started his firefighting career October 4th, 1965. And whereas Maurice Lefebvre has faithfully worked to protect all citizens from fire, harm, and loss of life and shelter. And whereas Maurice Lefebvre is but another example of the positive effect firefighters have on the lives and well-being of others as they reach out selfishly to serve and protect all citizens. And whereas it is altogether fitting and proper that the members of the Town Board of Champlain recognize and commend the proven courage, dedication, outstanding effort of Maurice Lefebvre for his 40 years of service. Now, therefore, it be resolved by the Town Board of the Town of Champlain recognize and commend Maurice Lefebvre on his 40 years of service and express to him the thanks and gratitude for the heroic, life-saving services he provides. Further, it be resolved that the clerk of the Town of Champlain is authorized and directed to transmit the appropriate copy of this resolution to Maurice Lefebvre by order of the Town Board. Larry Barcombe, Supervisor, Councilman Jules Strahan, Craig Hicks, Bruce Siegwin, and John Paul Tatro. I have another one with the exact same reading for George Rivers. I had a few things to say about George, but I best keep them to myself. George, congratulations. I also have one for Graham Ryler. It's 55 years of service. That was before I was even here. It is with great honor to present this one with 70 years of service to Mr. Willard Aubrey. I just want to thank the fire department for all they do for the township and the village. Very special day, April 16th, 1989. I just realized George was chief then. I didn't realize that until tonight. Did you? Do you remember where you were that evening? You were at my place. All 8 fire departments from the county. And that night I found out what dedication was from 8 fire departments. I thank you for that night of service and every night since. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Barkley.
Now it's my honor to ask our county legislator, Ms. Celine Paquette, to come up, please.
Thank you, Dennis. Again, thank you for inviting me here this evening. It is always a pleasure to be here and to express my thanks on behalf of all the residents of Clinton County. We know your dedication, we keep thanking you, but we can't thank you enough and enough. We know the amount of training you need. We also know how many nights your sleep was disrupted and family dinners were disrupted, and we appreciate it. We thank you very, very much. I met with Mayor George Rivers the other day. He brought to my attention a possible exemption for firefighters for some tax property relief. We will be looking at that at the county level. I hope to have it on the Public Safety Committee agenda very soon and see where we go with that. So that should be it. We have 4 proclamations here, and they are all the same. So I think I will read the one for Mr. Aubrey. Whereas since the early days of teapot steamers, the volunteer firefighter has been the cornerstone of our great nation's efforts to spare the citizenry from the ravages of fire. And whereas with a membership of dedicated firefighters, the record of the Rouses Point Fire Department in public service, fire protection, and other emergency services is one to be envied. For 24 hours a day, for 365 days a year, whenever the alarm sounds, these noble volunteers leave their homes and families to aid their neighbors. And whereas it is the sense of this legislative body to honor these individuals who have faithfully served the people of Clinton County with years of distinguished service, and whereas attendant to such concern and in accordance with long-standing tradition, the Clinton County Legislature is justly proud to honor Willard Aubrey for his 70 years of volunteer service with the Rouses Point Fire Department. And whereas Willard Aubrey joined the Rouses Point Fire Department on October 7th, 1935, since that time he has rendered faithful, conscientious, and dedicated service to the department and its mission. And whereas it takes a special dedication, a strong desire to help others, and a tireless sense of community to forsake precious time with family and friends to respond to the signal that a neighbor is in need. Willard Aubrey is such a firefighter. Throughout his 70 years of service, this volunteer heroically performed above and beyond the call of duty those responsibilities which define the task of fire protection. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Clinton County Legislature hereby acknowledges Willard Aubrey for his years as a member of the Rouses Point Fire Department. And we have the same for our other 3 members. So, Willard.
Thank you, Celine.
You gotta watch him, he'll kiss you all night, you know. Okay, I guess I am going to ask our Chief Brian Pelkey and our President, Mr. Bruce Sand, to come up and help me present some awards, please. I will do the same. I will read the one for Mr. Aubrey. This says, congratulations to Willard Aubrey for 70 years with the Rouses Point Fire Department from the Clinton County Firefighters Association. President Lauren Oley, Vice President Chuck. That's it. And second Vice President Benny Arnold. And there's one for Mr. Wilder, Mr. Rivers, and Mr. LaFave. That's from the County Firefighters Association. Okay, done. This is from the Firemen's Association of the State of New York. Whereas Graham Redwilder has dedicated 50 years to the volunteer fire service in the state of New York, and whereas Graham Redwilder, a well-respected member of the Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company No. 1, has most faithfully and diligently carried out all duties and is indeed a credit to all of the volunteer fire service. And whereas the members of the Firemen's Association of the State of New York wish to recognize and honor such outstanding dedication, now therefore be it resolved that the Firemen's Association of the State of New York extends its thanks and appreciation to Graham Redwilder for the 55 years of loyalty to the volunteer fire service, and be it further resolved that the membership of this association conveys to Graham Redwilder its congratulations and its very best wishes. Presented the 6th day of May 2006, Edward Carpenter Jr., President. This is a letter that we received from the Senate, State of New York, Senator Betty Little. It's addressed to Mr. Bruce Sand, and dear Mr. Sand, enclosed, please find the legislative resolutions commending George Rivers, Willard Aubrey, Graham Wilder, and Morris LaFave for their dedicated service to Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company No. 1. It is with great pleasure that I send you these legislative resolutions. The State of New York is only as great as its citizens allow it to be, and it is an honor for me to present citizens such as you and your members. Please accept my sincerest congratulations to these firefighters and their families on this momentous occasion, as well as my best wishes for health, prosperity, and happiness. Sincerely, Betty Little, Senator. This is from Congress of the United States, House of Representatives. I appreciate and thank you for advising me that George Rivers, Willard Aubrey, Graham Wilder, and Morris LaFave, members of the Rouses Point Fire Department, will be honored for their many years of dedicated service during the fire department's annual banquet scheduled for Saturday, May 6th. I am pleased to enclose herewith a certificate of special congregational recognition for each of these gentlemen. It would be appreciated if certificates could be presented to them, together with my sincere congratulations and best wishes on their noteworthy occasion. I extend my warmest greetings and best wishes to all attending the banquet. From our country's earliest days, Americans have been known for their willingness to contribute their time, talents, and energies to assist their community and its residents. Members of the organizations such as the Rouses Point Fire Department are without question one of the greatest assets to the community life. I am certain that the residents of the Rouses Point join with me in thanking you for your dedication and service. Again, thank you for bringing this special occasion to my attention, and with every good wish for what I am certain will be an enjoyable evening. John McHugh, Member of Congress. This is from the State of New York, Department of State, in tribute to George Rivers for completing 50 years of service with Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company No. 1 of Clinton County, New York. His devotion of duty and his contributions to the fire service and public safety merit the gratitude of all who have benefited from his efforts. I am delighted to join with the members of New York's Fire Service and the residents of Clinton County, his family, friends, and colleagues, in extending our sincere thanks for a job well done. This certificate of appreciation is presented with admiration and respect for outstanding dedication to public safety and service, and with all good wishes for health and happiness in future years. Witness my hand and the official seal of the Department of State of the State of New York, this 6th day of May in the year 2006, James Burns, State Fire Administrator. From the State of New York Executive Chamber, it's a citation. Whereas the citizens of the Empire State are proud to recognize the outstanding sense of civic duty demonstrated by local volunteer firefighters who guard against the ravage of fire and stand ready to lend a hand in all disasters, providing urgent relief and assistance to New Yorkers in need. And whereas this year, Willard Obrey celebrates 70 years of protecting the citizens of Clinton County as a volunteer firefighter with the Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company of the Rouses Point Fire Department, it is a notable milestone that few citizens in New York State have achieved and reflects a lifetime of dedication, commitment, and distinction for which he has earned the highest respect and gratitude. And whereas Willard Obrey has always been prepared to put himself on the line every day of the week, devoting himself to safeguarding the lives and property of his friends and neighbors, the contributions he has made to the protection of human life through this endeavor merit praise of the highest order. And whereas committed to the needs of the people he serves, Willard Obrey has worked diligently to provide an optimal degree of safety through professionalism and genuine concern for the neighborhoods and communities of Clinton County. Most notably, as a past chief, active and energetic to this day, he remains conscientious to all his duties and achievements. And whereas throughout the past 7 decades, Willard Obrey has realized many accomplishments that are no less than heroic and have earned him a sterling reputation in service, it is duly fitting we join with the Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company as its officers and members pay tribute to a remarkable citizen who has played an important role in helping make the Empire State a safer, more secure place to work and live. Now, therefore, I, George E. Pataki, Governor of the State of New York, do hereby confer this special citation upon Willard Obrey and extend congratulations and best wishes, along with a grateful community of colleagues and friends who salute you in recognition and appreciation of your outstanding years as a volunteer firefighter. This is signed, George E. Pataki, Governor.
Okay, we'll have another door prize.
I can't control them.
Another door prize, here we go. We're gonna stir them up. We'll have Mr. Smith pick one. Last four numbers, 0228. 0228. There we go. All righty.
Chief's getting them yet? Dear friends, I am pleased to have this opportunity to send greetings to each of you attending the Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company Awards Banquet. Tonight you honor 4 members of the Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company who have given a total of 215 years of remarkable service to the community. I am happy to join my voice with yours in honoring Willard Aubrey, George Rivers, Graham Wilder, and Maurice Lefebvre. These outstanding men have provided valuable leadership with an unwavering commitment to the fire company and the community. In particular, Mr. Aubrey has actively served the fire company for 70 years. I am proud to be able to recognize their contributions and diligent work with the fire company in guaranteeing the safety of their fellow neighbors. All members of the Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company should take great pride in the acts of bravery and dedication they display in the line of duty. Your duty and sacrifice demonstrate the American spirit of strength and compassion. I send my appreciation to Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company No. 1 for its exemplary service. You have my best wishes for a wonderful event. Sincerely yours, Hillary Rodham Clinton, United States Senator. I do have one from God. George, you want me to read what you wrote? I have one from God. You want me to read what you wrote? All right. This is dated May 1st, 2006. Mr. Willard Aubrey, Rouses Point, New York. And there's one for each one of these gentlemen. Dear Mr. Aubrey, congratulations on over 70 years of public service with Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder Company No. 1. I join your family, friends, and colleagues in recognizing your many accomplishments and contributions to your community. As a firefighter, you risk your life to protect your fellow citizens and help secure our homeland. Your courage and commitment to service are an inspiration and demonstrate the great character of our nation. Laura and I send our best wishes on this special occasion. Sincerely, George W. Bush.
I guess that's it.
Those, ladies and gentlemen, that is 215.
I need to take some pictures of the four, please.
Pay attention, Maurice. Okay, come in. Come on, go ahead.
Hey, they did a bad thing to give the mayor the mic.
We got the on-off switch, George.
This is unbelievable. I hope I can speak for the four of us. We are overwhelmed. But I'll tell you this, they call me God. But it's well fitting because you don't know the story behind this. A number of years ago, I had an assistant chief that was going to a fire and was fully involved. and he was going down the road, and he said, "Oh God," he says, "where are you?" I said, "I'll be right there, Junior." And the whole county knows it. Couple old guys on the other side of me here. One has been a very, very close friend, and I can't speak for him, but I can say this. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you very much.
And believe it or not, we are not done with these guys yet, but if you can go back to your seat just for a moment.
My knee.
Now if I could ask Secretary Sean Shagan to come up and give her special award, please.
Prize. Last four numbers, 0199. Zero.
Oh, your shot. Oh, Benny's shot. Benny needs a mic.
A couple years ago, there were a few of us that got into the station and did some work on the interior of the station. I've been working at trying to convince the village to help me beautify the outside of the station. Specifically, what I was looking for was, I might like some planter boxes. Well, this year, one of our members has helped me accomplish that. Eric, come on up, buddy. This is all you. Now I have a little gift for you. I understand that Brian's got you signed up for some plowing lessons.
I have nothing to do with it.
But this is for you. It's a broken pot. There's some flowers in it. That'll give you some incentive there. You're welcome.
I don't know, Eric, are you the only one that does anything? You seem like the only one that screws up.
You gotta do things to be able to do that.
Okay, Mr. Coffin, you give me a plaque. Let's get up here. Mr. Coffin, front and center.
Every year, the fire department likes to recognize some organization, a business. This year, we really wanted to recognize Montgomery Post 912 American Legion for everything that they do for us. Anything that we need, these guys are there. We need funds, they're there. One way or another, they're there for us. So on behalf of Montgomery Hose Hook and Ladder, I'd like to present this to you, Mr. Kaufman, presented to Montgomery Post 912 American Legion, and grateful appreciation for their unselfish and dedicated support throughout the year. Rouses Point Fire Department, all members and all officers and members of the Rouses Point Fire Department 2005. Thank you very much. In all honesty, Benny had no clue that you were going to do that to him. Okay, where are we? Oh, Mr. Busaya and Chief Brian Pelkey are going to come up and present the Years of Service Awards. Before we get started, Bruce, I just want to say, Bruce, we are very, very happy that you are able to join us tonight. We know that you...
Before we start, I'd like to say a few words. October 2005, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they told me I had a life-threatening disease. And I've got to thank some people. All the firemen that said, if you need any help, I'm there. And they were there. The Nautels, every 3 or 4 days, all winter, had a nice card from Florida trying to cheer me up. Through emails and letters and visits, the Laramie's were there. Mike LeBlanc followed me home one day, helped me unload the wagon with some heavy boxes. The auxiliary sent me cards. Larry Barcombe was on the phone every 4 or 5 days. I just can't thank everyone enough. Especially my wife, who sat near my bed for hours and hours. I'm sorry. Thank you.
You know what, Ruth? The real thanks go to you, because you have dedicated your life to this service, and it was just a small token of our appreciation. You are our brother.
Jim Seguin, we have a 20-year award for you. 20 years. The organization where you risk your life for nothing.
The only thing I want to say about Jimmy is, Jimmy and I are just about a year apart. And I know that he's been given 4 sets of new bunker gear because, like, I just grow just a little bit slower than Jimmy. And you know what? Every time I get them, they're just like new. But I'm starting to get my brother, and they're still just like new.
Maurice Lefebvre, we have your 40-year pin. It's kind of small compared to everything you've got so far. Thank you again for your service.
Mike, hold it. Lenny, are you still with us?
Carl, if you could go up there and just turn around and...
You get more than a little pin.
Maurice Mike Lefebvre, for 40 years of outstanding and dedicated service to the Rouses Point Fire Department. Congratulations.
We have a special gift from the fire department so Mike can keep in track with his wife.
George Rivers, we have your 50-year pen. For 49 years, we wore out one leg, now we wear out the other leg.
George, if you have a little there, just turn around, please.
Little token for his service says George Rivers for 50 years of outstanding and dedicated service to the Rouses Point Fire Department, 1956 to 2006. Red Wilder, your turn. Now it's White Wilder, but we'll keep it red if you want. Congratulations. I got some more toys here for you. To Graham Red Wilder for 55 years of outstanding and dedicated service to the Rouses Point Fire Department.
Red, there's also a $20 bill in that envelope.
many dollars, Bill?
20. Yeah, that's for me letting you drive your car to Montreal. Red says, that's the fastest my car's ever been. He said, I don't know if I'd like that.
It gives me great pleasure to give the award of 70 years of service to Willard Aubrey. He was chief when I was a little boy, and I got a little bigger, and I can't believe that I'm giving the chief an award. Beautiful plaque. Willard Aubrey, 70 years of outstanding and dedicated service to the Rouses Point Fire Department.
Also, seeing that Willard plays a lot of pool and stuff, we got a pool stick for him.
Oh, jeez.
It's got his initials engraved in it, Rouses Point Fire Department, 10/7/1935 to 5/6/2006.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Hey, Willard, remember you and I were playing pool on the Tuesday night league? Willard and I were on the same team for, probably about 20 years. And he did carry us, no doubt about it. But I'll tell you what, we each showed him how to drink though, didn't we, Willow? He said, you know, you guys aren't bad, but you'd be a hell of a lot better. You put down that darn beer. He didn't quite say it like that, but use your imagination.
Another door prize, 0216. Nope.
All right, before we get into the biggies, I do want to say that we are going to have some live entertainment tonight, but it's not going to be like we normally have. We've had DJs, we've had live bands, and people just kind of dwindle out. So this year, the committee decided, and it was approved by the body, so it's really not a surprise to a lot of people, but we went out and we hired some professional comedians to come in here and entertain us. And I'll tell you what, about an hour ago, Kevin and Benny were sweating bullets. Because we hadn't heard from these guys. They had our money, we hadn't heard from them. And so that path you see going back and forth, that's the reason why. But Benny is going to be going to get these guys, and they should be arriving momentarily.
They'll be here right within 3 minutes.
Okay, so they're already here. And so we really would appreciate it if people stick around and enjoy the show. Basically, enjoy the show. Do you want to put a little caveat in there, Ben? There may be some.
Yeah, they'll probably be a little F this and F that, but if you don't like it, go to the bar. All I can say. Sorry. And we're going to present a flower to Miss Peggy Rivers. We'll give one to Red Wilder.
Red, bring that to Polly. And don't forget, you didn't buy it.
And one for Mrs. Aubrey.
Kim LaFave.
And one to Mrs. LaFave back there. And we'll have another draw.
So these are real.
Committee come up, Dan Letourneau, Chuck Pan, and Joe Crone, please, to present the EMS of the Year award. Good job.
Proud of you, Dad. That's not very many people that can make that statement right there. God bless you.
All right, one of the last awards of the evening is the EMS Provider of the Year. We have the honor, the three of us, former EMS of the Year, two of them deserving, one of them just here, holding the microphone. It was a pretty easy selection this year. This gentleman has made more calls than anyone in the EMS squad. He has achieved certification to make himself a tech that we needed. He's now providing CPR classes. He's also been a stalwart with the EMS, the ambulance squad. He's always there. We appreciate his guidance. We look forward to many more years of it. And we're all very proud to ask Junior Moore to come up here and get his award. Would you like to say a few words? Junior says thank you. Turn around and get a picture. Let's hope he stays with us for many years in the future.
No, really, smile. Okay, the next door prize, 0241. Yep. Next door prize. 0236.
Okay, what we're going to do is to try and entice you folks to stick around for the show after. Gerald and Sean are going to be going around and everyone's going to receive an additional 2 drinks. So that's what these tickets are for, is to stick around and enjoy the show after. I'm not done yet.
All right, we have another door prize.
Okay, folks, we're going to keep progressing here. I think what's up next is if we could have the Fireman of the Year Committee, Jason Juno, Mike LeBlanc, and Bruce Sand, come up and present the Firefighter of the Year Award, please.
Fireman of the Year. This person has done an awful lot in the past year for the fire company, and there was no doubt who it would be. He drives the EMS, he drives the fire trucks, he answers most of the alarms. He recently received an EMT approval, and he's running the ambulance now as an EMT. He helps write the grants, keeps the company records, teaches pumps operators classes, and by now you know who it is. And he's a great friend. He does it all. He's done it all this year. Fireman of the Year, Walt Laramie.
I promise to keep this very short. Believe me, I don't care who gets this award. It's impossible to get this award without the help of every other individual in this department. Thank you to all of you for your help, and thank you to the committee for your recognition.
Can somebody pull Benny out of the bar? Once that guy gets in a bar, you can't get him out. Hey, did you guys enjoy the meal? I'd
We'd like to give Dustin and all the help and stuff a really nice hand of applause for a well-deserved meal.
Those are tickets for
While we're having thanks,
cans of beer.
I personally would like to thank Mr. Benny Arnold for basically, he organized this banquet. What you see, he did.
I hope nobody went away hungry. If you did, we still got hors d'oeuvres out. Anybody wants any hors d'oeuvres? They're going to be stayed out the rest of the night.
Benny, do you have any more raffles? Let's do them up, man. Take a 15-minute break, and before we do that, we want to have the final closing prayer. So please start rushing out. Mr. Laramie, please.
I want to introduce the comedians for a second. Dave and Betsy. Like I said, if you're hearing F this or F that, well, it's too bad. I want to present Betsy with a flower here.
Cemetery.
Where are you going, Little Cemetery?
This is his way. We're going to present Dave with a T-shirt from the Rouses Point Fire Department. Double X. Alrighty, we can take a 15-minute break now for a minute, and we'll get back to the thing.
Hold on. Final prayer, please.
Before we start the festivities, a moment of silence, please. I'd like to close the formal part of this evening with a firefighter's psalm. Before I set this aside as being the closing prayer, before I heard some of the remarks tonight, but they're kind of fitting with what was said earlier. The Lord is my chief. He has chosen me to serve. He leads me to still the fire racing around me. He lifts my spirit to fight even when all seems lost. He has prepared for me a place in life devoted to service, honor, joy, and fellowship. He anoints my soul with courage in the presence of tragedy and trial. I will fear nothing, for he is with me. His strength will comfort me. And when life's final alarm for me has sounded, I will know the victory that comes from service in his name. Amen.
Thank you, everybody. 15 minutes, we'll be back.